Welcome to our second ever episode of Heat 'em Up Cats, coming to you on location from Hangry Joe's in downtown San Marcos. I'm your host, Brant Freeman. We're going to have hot wings and discuss some hot topics. And today our topic is Texas State Volleyball. Our guest, fifth-year head coach Sean Huiet, senior outside hitter, or junior outside hitter Maggie Walsh, junior middle blocker Bailey Hanner joining us on this episode of the show. Welcome to the show, guys. How do you handle your heat?
I'm nervous. Mild is the best.
Mild is the best. All right, Maggie, how you feeling?
I'm nervous, but I think I can handle it more than Sean.
I think all of us can handle it more than Sean, the way that he's talking. Bailey, how are you feeling?
I'm a little nervous. I'm definitely a mild girl, but excited to see.
You'll still be better than Sean. That's all that we need. All right, so here are the rules. As you see, we have 5 wings in front of us, and it's going to go progressively from no spice to very spicy here, okay? And you don't have to eat the whole wing. All you need to do is take at least one bite, Sean, so don't worry. That's going to help you out a ton, as I know. We've got milk to help you out and cool you down, water, and the 3 of you are also given sugar as well, which we've been told is apparently it does help with the heat. And it's worth noting, I didn't get any sugar, so.
You're tougher than us.
Right, yeah, well, that was assumed. All right, so are all of you ready to dive into the wings?
Ready or not?
Okay, well, first off, we do want to thank the people at Hot Ones and First We Feast for giving us inspiration for this show, for the series. So with that said, let's dig in the first wing of the day. Sean, how you doing?
Making it.
All right.
Hold and steady.
So that one had no spice to it whatsoever. With that said, let's go ahead and dive into the questions here. And my first one is for all of you. So, and Sean, I'll start with you with this. This past year, the team earned an at-large bid into the NCAA tournament. It's the first time it's happened in program history. Not only is that notable for the fact that happened, but the year prior, you should have been an at-large team, but your name wasn't called. After getting snubbed the year before, what did it mean to get your name called this time?
Yeah, it was, I remember the moment. We've talked a lot about it because that year before we felt like we had a chance and that we were kind of snubbed. And so to hear our name, it was a long wait. That was a focus a lot the spring before that. We didn't want to have to sit and wait, or we didn't want to be on the end of not hearing our name called. And so we thought the body of work that we did put us into the tournament, but you put that in the hands of a committee. And so when they announced our name, we were in the last regional, and so we sat there the whole time, and we were one of the last teams announced. There was a pretty big celebration and excitement, but it was well deserved by this team and very, very exciting for our program.
And Maggie, for you, again, your freshman year, the team didn't get its name called despite the great year that they had, high RPI number. You reached the finals of the Sun Belt tournament. So what did it mean for you personally to hear the name called last year?
Yeah, I remember the feeling of when we were not called out my freshman year and our name being called out, or it was like we were in the last region, and it was when we heard our name, it was just like Bailey even said it was like one of her favorite moment here. So yeah, it was a great feeling.
Bailey, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. It was crazy because we had known that we had a lot of good wins. We beat Houston that season, and we felt like we earned it, but sitting through the whole selection show and seeing other Sun Belt teams get at-large bids, we were getting nervous. We were one of the last 4 teams in the bracket. So when our name was finally called, it was the best feeling ever.
Do you guys have a favorite moment from last year?
That moment was what we've done. We have a question of the day, and there's been some questions like favorite moment, or what was something you remember, or something you could go back in time and feel, and a lot of times that moment was brought up. Mm-hmm. So that would be mine for sure.
That was mine as well.
I'd say that one, or when we did beat Houston, that whole game was just so surreal.
All right, so we've gone through one wing. Let's go on now to wing 2, a little bit of spice level. Medium spice, Sean, you're gonna be fine.
I got it.
That one's hitting you a little bit, isn't it?
You know? That looks good. Mm-hmm. Very good.
Really, I mean, it's got a little bit of a kick to it, but I think the flavor of it is really, really good.
Yeah, that's medium. Next year.
Yeah, 3 more to go. 3 more to go. All right, so on to our second set of questions here. And Sean, again, I want to start with you. career record for you through 4 years now. You're going into year 5. 95 wins, 38 losses, and Sun Belt play an absurd 55-9. So you're 5 wins shy of 100. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're going to get milestone win number 100 this season. How do you plan on celebrating number 100?
Well, it's surreal to think that I've been here long enough to have that many wins as a head coach. But to me, milestone wins are kind of like we talk as a team with individual awards. Like that will be super awesome. But the focus this season is winning the Sun Belt, taking it one match at a time. I've surrounded myself with a great staff that has helped me get here, but it's all about this team and winning the Sun Belt this year.
Maggie, for you, I look at this past season and you played in over 100 sets. Your freshman year, you only got about 62, which for a freshman is a lot, but it increased, almost, not quite double, but almost 40 more than you had the year prior. What did it mean to you to earn those extra opportunities in your second year?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot from all the seniors that came before me, and they helped me a lot growing. And but yeah, I mean, it meant a lot. But I with my teammates, having my back, it means a lot. So.
Bailey, you had a great sophomore season yourself. So year 2 for you at Texas State. You were named Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Week at some point this past season, but you also suffered through an injury, and you were out for 3 weeks. What is it like for a student athlete when you're unable to perform? I'm talking about game days, not practices. When you're out there on the sidelines, your teammates are on the floor, you're not. How do you stay engaged?
Yeah, it was really tough for me because I was out with a concussion. So for some of the games, like our Kansas tournament, I couldn't even travel with the team. But I was just watching at home, trying to be hopeful for them and cheer for them the best I could. And then when I was able to be back in the gym and just watch them, just cheer for them, give advice to the girls filling in for me in my position.
All right, let's go on now to wing number 3. This is mild spice.
Are you lying?
Now remember, you got both milk and water available. You got the sugar there as well, Sean, if you want to go that route.
That one's
a little spicy.
All right, that one's you guys. There you go. There you go. I think you're supposed to take it like a shot, Sean. I was kidding, by the way. I wanted to see if you would do it. So, on the topic of food here, Sean, as we enjoy our wings, you're from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
And one of the local cuisines that you hear about, which I just cannot wrap my head around, Skyline Chili. What is the deal with Skyline Chili?
It is first stop, no matter, I think in all the years I've lived away, if I go home, it's the first place I go when I get off the airport. It's the best. It's chili. I know people think it's weird. It has a cinnamon in it, so it's kind of a little bit of a sweet chili. But we put, what I would get is a 3-way, so it's spaghetti, chili, and then cheese. And then the best part of Skyline is the crackers. You take these little oyster crackers and you dip them in the cheese, and that's Declan's favorite snack. But Skyline chili is legit.
So it's chili on top of spaghetti.
Yes.
With cinnamon dusted in it.
Well, the cinnamon's in the
okay.
It's already in there. Like, it's not on top or anything. It's like part of the ingredients.
So do you recommend that we try it sometime?
It helps. It's a lot less spicy than this, so I could handle that a little bit more, but I think you should try it. Anyone that's ever been to Cincinnati, like Brian Dean works in our business office, he was there for a little bit. I'm like, Skyline, he's like, I kind of judge their character if they like Skyline or not, and so it kind of helps me out, tell them what kind of person they are.
Let's move on now, Maggie, and back to you. You also coach club volleyball. 12-year-olds, I believe, in the San Marcos area, and I've been told that one of your players is the daughter of our pitching coach for the baseball program, Chad Massingale. So, do you see yourself getting into coaching one day?
Yeah, possibly. Both. My dad's a coach, my brother's a coach, and my mom's a coach. So it runs in the family. But I mean, I love coaching. Yeah, I could. You
said your dad is a coach. He used to be a high school coach up in Denton, and then he took over the job at San Marcos High School as well. So you've been in the San Marcos area for 4 or 5 years now. So what have you gotten to know about San Marcos now that you've been here for a few years?
The community is awesome, and the river obviously is great. And I just have felt, from the day I moved here, like felt supported from like high school to now coming to Texas State. So the community is great here.
You know how big high school football is in Texas? What's it like being the daughter of a football coach here in the state?
Yeah, blessing and curses. But, I mean, it's awesome. I love going to watch my dad coach, and I mean, it was hard in high school when he couldn't come to like my high school games, and even now, like when we play on Fridays, it like is hard, but it just makes it more enjoyable when he gets to come.
Bailey, in researching for this show, I go and I Google Bailey Hanner, and I come across this article on Vipe. You know, this was 4 years ago. I think you were a senior in high school at the time, and in the article, you referenced kind of your humble beginnings and how you first tried out basketball, but you found it to be too violent.
Yeah, it was a little too aggressive for me. I was like, I think I'm gonna stick to maybe a non-contact sport. I was tall, very young, so I was the tall girl on the team, and all these girls are just trying to whack at me and all.
Well, don't you find that still happens sometimes to the net?
Yeah, a little bit. It can get a little contact, but not as bad as basketball.
But you get into volleyball, and in the same article, you're quoted as saying you initially hated it. So you hated volleyball then. How did you end up here now?
Well, it was like one of my first like camps when I was super young growing up. I just like the whole team aspect and just people already knowing each other. I was new going in, so I remember I was like told my mom I never wanted to go back, and she was like, we already signed you up to keep going, so I had to keep going. But I just ended up being the best like at volleyball out of all the sports I tried, and I ended up loving it.
All right, so I think we're all kind of feeling the wing a little bit right now, right? Okay, but hey, we got 2 more to go. 2 more hot wings, a couple of more hot topics. Are you ready for wing 4?
No.
All right, we'll dig in then. Wing number 4.
It hasn't hit yet.
Yeah.
That's the end of it.
I didn't go for the milk last time. Gonna go ahead and do that now. Wow. Sean, Maggie, Bailey, how y'all doing?
It's definitely hitting. It has a late reaction, I think.
My lips are burning.
Yeah.
That's what's burning.
All of you are handling this so much better than Kelly Dampus did when we did the first episode. So you guys are champs. All right. On to the next round of questions now. So Sean, this was about 3 years ago. You delivered a really powerful TED Talk, and you did so in an empty auditorium. We were still in the midst of the pandemic, just kind of almost on the other side of it. And these TED Talks, usually it's a full auditorium with an audience that can react to what you're saying. You delivered this 16-minute speech with nobody there. What was that experience like?
Excuse me as I get some more milk. You know, it's funny, the TED Talk, that all came about from the University Star did an article on me adopting Declan. Mm-hmm. And the TED Talk people reached out, and I got the email and I started reading it, and Keith instantly was like, yes, you're doing it. And I was like, it was never on my bucket list to do a TED Talk or something that I don't hate public speaking, I don't love it, so it's kind of like, I don't know. But then when I really sat down and wanted to, for me in this position, representation matters, and talking about being openly gay and talking about adopting a black son and raising a black son, it was just very important to me to be able to use my platform for that. And so I just thought it was a great opportunity. And so then we started the whole process of the TED Talk, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, and by the way, we're going to be doing this with no audience. So at first I was like, yes, this is perfect. Like, no one's going to be in there. But as I started getting ready for it, I practiced in front of the team. I practiced in front of the cheerleaders and some other groups on campus just to get it. And it was very unique because as much as I enjoyed there not being a lot of people in there and kind of ease my nerves a little bit, when you're up there telling your story and talking about some of the things I talked about, the audience and their reaction like when I was telling it in front of people, it kind of helped me stay in the moment and really give some more of the story. And so it was just a little different with it being an empty audience. It was like 4 people, Brian and my coach, and then the camera people. So, but no, it was, like I said, it was nothing that was ever on my bucket list that, I have to do a TED Talk, but I am so glad that I got that opportunity. And again, like I said, representation and being able to use my platform is huge.
Yeah, you talked about so many things that are inherently difficult to talk about. So what has the reaction been like since you gave that TED Talk?
You know, it's been awesome. And one of the things, it's so funny, like right when I got the job, the head coaching job in December, I went to the Final Four. They have a big coaches convention. And one of my friends, her name's Rashinda, she's head coach at Alabama. And she came up to me and after she hugged me and said, congrats. And she's like, you know, do you know what you're doing? And I was like, I mean, I think so. Like, I've been coaching long enough. Like, she's like, no, like, she's like, you're one of the first openly gay coaches. Like, you're breaking down barriers. Do you know, like, what you're doing? And I was like, no, like, I'm just going to be me, you know? And so, like I said, using my platform and being able to, one of my mentors is Kurt Miller, who is one of the only openly gay coaches in the WNBA. And it just has given me perspective on how I can be mentor and help young people. So,
So a question for the both of you is that you're both NIL athletes, you know, and of course one of the partnerships you have is here with Hangry Joe's. Your former teammate Janelle Fitzgerald, huge advocate for NIL, was one of the ones that kind of helped push this forward, you know, when talking to state leaders here in Texas. So I want to bring things back though to Hangry Joe's for a second. Why the partnership with this restaurant?
Yeah, I remember initially Brandon reaching out to me and just seeing if I wanted to come in for a free meal and just try the food. And I was like, yeah, it's a new place. Like, we like finding good places to eat in San Marcos. And so I was like, Maggie, like, can she come with me? And so we ended up coming, and the food is really good. The chicken is like amazing. I've never had anything like it. So he was like, really wanted us to try it and believe in it before we started being like ambassadors for it. But yeah, so then we got to making a deal, and it's really going good.
Yeah, I initially just went along with Bailey and wanted just to try the food, and I ended up getting it. And yeah, just hit the way he wanted us to try the food, so that like to see if we even liked it, and obviously like we love it. And I think it's like it's like a good community here. It feels like there's always something to like be doing here, and it's like good.
You know, I mentioned Janelle, and when she first became a student athlete, NIL wasn't a thing yet, so she was a part of the transition. The two of you become student athletes when NIL is a thing. Just how empowering is that now for student athletes?
I think it's great. I think it's good that you can, you know, whatever fans or following you get on social media and stuff, you can use that to make some extra cash, because we are athletes. We're so busy. We don't have time really to hold jobs. So it is good to like make deals with like local places or even bigger companies and just be able to put yourself on the map and those businesses.
Yeah, basically what she said, but also like promoting like businesses like local, like in our community too, is awesome as well.
Yeah.
So I'm still feeling the heat from the last
I
one.
don't know how y'all are being so normal right
All
now.
right.
I'm like,
So are you ready for the last one?
no, I'm not.
Well, that tells me that you are. And hey, take the smallest bite that you want. You don't have to finish the whole wing, okay? But here we go. We are on to the last wing, wing number 5, the spiciest. So spicy, here at Hangry Joe's, when you order these, you have to sign a waiver. You didn't sign one though, so enjoy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I took a very small bite, but
I think I took 2 favorite bites. Cheers.
Wow.
What in the? Don't eat that for enjoyment.
I'm stealing some of your sugar.
Yep. Oh, that is stupid hot.
Now keep in mind,
Seriously, people order like 10 or 12.
yeah, they'll have that as a meal. Wow.
That is.
Don't rub your eyes. Use your napkin, by the way. Well, as we all come down for the high of that, on to our last round of questions here. Sean, you mentioned your son Declan, 8 years old now. When you chose to adopt, you chose to become a boy dad. I remember when my wife first got pregnant, I really wanted a girl to become a girl dad. For you, why a boy?
I'm around a lot of females. It's funny, Declan has recently asked for a sister. I'm dying.
It's actually not good right now. I'm sweating.
And so when his mom, when we went through the process and she said it was a boy, it was like, all of my whole family, all of my siblings that I grew up with all have daughters. I was the only one that had a boy, so it was kind of funny. Like, we're like, oh, we had to go outside the family to get a boy, and then my stepsister ended up having a boy. But again, I joke. I'm surrounded by females in my job, and get to when Declan asked for a sister, I'm like, you have 19 sisters in the gym. Like, come on into the gym. But being a boy dad has been a really cool experience for me.
I remember when the pandemic hit, we were struggling for content here. We weren't eating hot wings yet, and maybe that was a bad decision. Anyways, create some of that COVID content because there were no games at the time. You sent a video of you and your son Declan, I think, acting out some superhero thing.
My mouth is on. Baby's crying.
You could power through.
Okay, sorry.
So,
next question.
Yep. So you and Declan were acting out the superhero thing. So I know Declan at the time, and I guess he was 4 years old, really into superheroes. Is he still into superheroes? What is he into now?
Yeah, we've moved past superheroes. He's Sonic. His room is Sonic. He's a big Sonic fan. He's really into video games, Fortnite, the gaming, the Xbox, that kind of stuff. But he does still love Sonic, and it's true to his heart with the superheroes.
It's like Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
So you kind of grew up in that era. Do you ever play with him?
No, I do not. I play sports. We do the outside thing. I'm not a gamer.
Not a gamer?
I mean, I played the Nintendo, and I'm old, so we had Atari and all that. How someone can eat that and not?
Oh my goodness.
Are you dying?
Oh yeah. I'm hiding it through. I'm hiding it through tears right now. Maggie. All right. So two really big things happened for you over the last few months or so. You adopted a dog from a shelter, and your sister got engaged. So you're a maid of honor. So those two big things in your life. Tell me more about them and how excited you are to be a dog mom and a maid of honor for your sister.
Yeah, Dallas. That's my dog's name. At the shelter, she was very sweet, very calm. Just wanted to be pet. Took her home. She was good for about 2 weeks until she tore up my bedding on my bed, and then tore up her. I bought her 2 beds and tore up both of them. So she came out of her shell, but now I think she's learned not to tear up things. But other than that, like, she's great, and I love her so much. She's a little bit of a maintenance, a little bit sometimes, but she's awesome. And then my sister getting engaged, like, that was like a great moment, and just seeing her so happy. But being a maid of honor and also being in fall camp is hard. Sure. I have been. It's fine, you can have it. But it's been like, but being in fall camp and being maid of honor has been pretty hard. Just planning the bachelor trip, picking out dresses. But I think she understands.
We're not gonna have a spring game.
Yeah, making sure games when the wedding's happening. But she's pretty doable with that. She hasn't been a crazy bride yet, so. But we'll see when it gets a little.
Well, Bailey, I'm not sure I can see you right now because the spice is just killing me, but I'm gonna try to ask you a question anyway. So, I understand that the recruiting class of yours, along with Maggie, all live together now. So, who's the head of the household there? Who is the mom of the group?
Ooh, I would say It's a tough one between Olivia and Maggie. They both have motherly tendencies, I think. Olivia, I'll walk out at 8 a.m. on an off day, and she's like deep cleaning and sweeping the house. So she definitely like keeps us in check. She'll be like, hey, it's disgusting, like we need to clean. Now Olivia has a dog too now, so now I'm living with 5 girls and 2 dogs. So it is very interesting, but there's never a dull moment.
So what do all of you do together to unwind, get away from volleyball? How do y'all spend time with each other?
I mean, right now in fall camp, we've been coming back with our meals and just sitting in the living room, in the kitchen, just eating in silence. And then we kind of debrief a little bit, just talk about the day. But we like watching like The Bachelorette together. We've been trying to make time for that every Monday night, so.
Who is the messiest roommate?
Oh.
Why are you looking at Maggie?
I think I'd have to say Maggie. None of us are super messy, but
Me?
yeah. I walk into Maggie's room sometimes and it's scary.
It's cause I have to move. No, I have to move. So the kennel's right next to my bed. So she tore up my comforter. So I have to, every time I leave, I have to move all of my like pillows and my like comforter away from it so she doesn't get to it. But yeah, it's.
By the way, hey Maggie, I want to give you a fist bump being a dog mom and adopting one. I adopted a rescue basset hound myself a number of years ago, so definitely can respect that a lot. All right, so the good news is
We're done.
There's no more wings to go. All right, how you doing right now?
I mean, the chicken is really good. Love Hangry Joe's, but that spice, not for me.
How are you guys doing right now?
I feel like I'm better now.
I'm better now. My lips are on
Yeah.
fire.
And numb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mouth isn't too burny, but it's my lips.
Initially, when you take the first bite, at first it's like, okay, the taste is really good, but then the spice gets you.
All right, well guys, thank you all so much. I want to thank our tremendous crew as well that's helped put this together on hand. CJ, Simon, Megan, Viana, Ali, Victoria, Audrey, Joseph, and Danielle. Thank you all so much for coming out and helping us out get this all put together. This has been a great second episode of Heat 'em Up Cats. Good luck to all of you this upcoming season.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
As always, keep those states up. Enjoy the season.